And we're live. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Four Quarters. All sports, every day, all day. And she's a babe. I really got to stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
My money's on that.
And to no surprise, my shout out, Caitlin Clark.
And we're live.
And we're live.
I had to get that last one in before we went live.
Before you have to pay $1. Welcome into Four Quarters. It's Wednesday of a short week, and it feels like it should be Friday.
2 more days, and then I have a vacation.
Does everybody agree? We love having a 3-day weekend.
Yes.
Love what it stands for, Memorial Day. Any 3-day weekend, but then you get to like Wednesday or Thursday, and you feel like you've worked 5 days already.
Yep, because then you're smashing everything you'd get done.
That's
have to
what
get
it
done
is.
in 5 days into 4 days. You know, it doesn't really change how much you have to get
Right.
done, right?
I had a coworker today who
Or at least for our jobs.
had tacked on Tuesday as well, so I had a 4-day weekend, and halfway through the day she looked like she was chasing her tail. And she's like, I need a nap. And I'm like, yeah, see, it pays, but it doesn't.
Right,
Because you
right.
need to have that work-life balance.
Absolutely.
So welcome in. We are obviously on our Four Quarters Facebook page, 802 Scoops, and you know we're on YouTube as well. We are wheelsless again. We have no wheels.
No.
We're walking around with flat tires.
At least we're walking around.
Yeah.
More than we can say about Wheels.
Wheels is
Feel better.
umpiring, but she is also umpiring on one leg.
Yep.
Rolled her ankle walking Paisley.
Ice and elevate.
And she did a good job because this
Okay.
happened on Saturday. And I think the cutest thing, though, because we know how intelligent dogs are, and we
yeah.
also know that they have a heart of gold. So she had sent a picture later in the day because she was elevated, recliner elevated, icing it. And Paisley was right there, like taking care of her.
Buddy.
And she said she didn't really leave her much that day.
Oh, buddy.
So when I saw her on Monday, definitely swollen on one side, purple on the other side. She did umpire. She's a phenomenal umpire, so trying to get out from behind home plate quickly, she goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So she's on the DL, the IL, whatever we call it now in this day and age.
Yep.
Can't think of a time Jody missed playing a women's league softball game.
And she said she's going to be
She's
out.
done this week
So
and next.
this is really, yep.
God bless
Like
her.
I said, ankles are never the same.
Oh my God, shoulders are stupid and ankles are never, and it's those sprained ankles, they linger.
There's just so many ligaments.
Yeah,
Small bones in your foot and your ankle. And it's just, yeah.
And she came over for a barbecue and we had everything set up on the deck, but we kept trying to help, yet let her use it at the same time. Yet when she stood up and walked, I was like, this is awful. Just awful. She did say a coworker had given her a walking boot.
Okay,
so I
good.
hope that kind of helps move around a little bit better.
And all of this to say, we miss you, Wheels.
Yeah. We digress.
Feel better.
We digress.
Feel better.
We digress. CB, we don't have any dogs.
No.
We're going to start asking people to send their picture of dogs in because Golden Hugs is in need of fosters.
Yes.
They really are in need of fosters with puppies, a lot of puppies, but just get out there, get out to these shelters. It's the perfect time of year.
Yes.
And if you have a fenced-in backyard, you have no excuses.
Right.
Because trust me, I keep thinking I should at least foster. We should at least foster. Not sure about that third dog because I don't want to do that to Bo, but I don't mind having a third one.
The next big project, I have so many projects I have to do in my house, but I really want to because I have a huge yard. I have
You do have a huge yard.
I have over an acre, and we have a very small area that's fenced, but none of the rest is fenced, which is fine for Sophie because we've had her.
Yeah.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But if we want to get another dog or even foster or adopt, I need to fence in that
You do.
yard.
You do.
So that'll be the next like big project.
I checked it out again when I was driving to my friend Emily's house on Sunday. I'm like, damn, that backyard.
Yeah.
Because Jen was driving. She
Yeah.
was Ubering me
Yeah.
to Emily's.
Literally.
And I showed Jen where you live.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't know CB lived there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's
Literally
where she
the
lives.
reason I bought the house, I was like, when I was moving up here, because in New York, everyone's on top of each other. Like Long Island,
Absolutely.
everyone's on top of each other.
Sure.
And I was like, I want a big yard for Sophie.
Yep.
You know how like people buy houses for their children?
Yeah.
I bought a house.
For your dog.
Yeah, I mean, it works because...
Well, that's important.
Right. And
For the dog.
And it, you know, the house itself is a ranch, which is good for my elderly father. Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to Frank.
But I needed, and he even said that, we need a big yard for Sophie because she loves to run and play.
Yep.
And so I saw that yard, I was like, all right, this is it.
And when you do get it fenced in, you're going to be, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
whole new world.
Yep.
It really is. You have any shout outs, bud? I only have a couple.
I have 2 shout outs.
Okay, go
One,
for it.
shout out to Tom for this cake. It's delicious. And shout out to Lori for always bringing me sugar on Wednesdays.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing, my friend, but I give you sugar.
Yep. Yeah, cake is delicious. My other shout out, and I don't know if you've heard this, but Tyrese Halliburton, point guard for
Pacers.
Yep. And he reached. Did you see this before the playoffs? He reached out to Sue Bird
No.
and asked for advice
tell.
on when to be a scorer and when to be a facilitator.
Oh my God.
And who better?
Couldn't have reached out to a better
Who better
person.
to reach out?
And no disrespect, but what
Right.
male athlete thinks, oh, I should reach out to
Sue Bird,
a female athlete
Yeah.
that's game is similar to mine?
Right.
They usually just reach out to a LeBron or somebody, you know, that's been around.
Just shout out to Tyrese.
Wow.
It's paying off. He's playing out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
He's playing out of his mind. So,
Series all done.
yeah, pretty much. Like,
I mean,
you thought it was
Knicks had
going
to
7.
win.
You thought it was going 7.
I thought it was going 7. I thought the Knicks were showing
I
up.
had the Pacers winning. I didn't think it was going to be this blown out.
Game 1, when the Knicks blew that game 1.
Yep.
That they, I
How
still
much were
to
they
this.
up by?
What was
Something.
it? 16 with
Yeah.
2 something left.
Yep.
You don't, as a basketball coach,
Right.
And I'm not even talking. I'm not even used to a shot clock. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how you blow that
Yep.
lead.
No.
So that's when I got nervous,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, well, you know, the Knicks came back and won Game 3, and they were down 20.
Yep.
But the Knicks, in my eyes, had to win last night.
Yep.
They had to win. So,
Yep.
and that was at New York, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, they're in
No, they're in Indiana because it went New York and then
New York,
Indiana,
yeah.
and then it'll go 1-1-1.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of 3-1s come back.
Nope.
I really haven't. So
Nope.
I don't know.
Yep.
But you're right. He's playing out of his mind. He's a hell of a player.
Yep. I just thought that was really cool.
And then on the flip side, the Western Conference, where I thought OKC was going to sweep,
Yep.
I still don't get how Minnesota beat them by 40 that night.
Right.
Did OKC just go, "Pff,
We can give
we're
him
up
one.
2-0.
We can give him one.
We should just show up but
Yeah.
not play"?
It makes
40
no sense.
points or 30, whatever
it was
the
like
heck
30.
it was.
Yeah, it was like 30.
And then they almost lost Game 4.
Yeah.
So both series are at 3-1.
3-1. Yep.
And you can't help but think, Shea Gilgeous versus Halliburton.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
Tyrese Halliburton, and there's numerous stars on both of those teams, but just talk about your young up
Yep.
and coming teams.
Yep.
I also heard today that LeBron will probably opt in
Oh, really?
because he usually does the opt out,
Yep.
give me another contract.
Yep.
Can I shave some money so we can bring in another player?
Mm-hmm.
52 million if he opts in. I mean, I think he'll be okay.
That's wild.
I think he'll be all right on that, but I don't know. They don't have a lot of money under the cap,
Right.
but you got Luca for a whole year
Yeah.
too. So, anyways, yeah. So I digress. But Tyrese, yeah, Sue Bird, you can't
Yeah.
ask for a better.
Yep. I just thought that was a really cool story.
Because watching Sue Bird all those years, whether it was in a Connecticut uniform or a Seattle one,
Yep.
you never saw very often was she going to go off for 30 points.
Right.
Because she was, I'm going to score when I have to, but I'm going to facilitate. I'm going to play some great ass
Yeah.
defense
Yep.
too. And God bless him. Now you're making me want to cheer for the
Right.
Pacers. And I was leaning with the Knicks. Don't ask me why. I think
Yeah.
it's a New York thing with me.
Yeah.
You think I was from New York.
Which one of us is from New York?
So we titled the show Spring Fling just because high school sports is coming to an end, meaning the regular season ends this weekend.
Yep.
So many lacrosse, baseball, softball games trying to literally get in 4 to 5 games this week. And I mean literally trying to fit everything in. And we've been spoiled finally because we had a nice Monday and a nice Tuesday.
Yep.
And today's Wednesday, so we've had 3 days in a row. But now I hear rain's coming.
Yep.
And I hear Saturday's a complete wash,
It is.
which breaks my heart because that would be the last day of the regular season.
Oh.
And I was hoping to get to Hartford to see Otter Valley in Hartford in that rematch.
Oh, that would have been a great game.
2 weeks ago, that was the 7-6 game, or last week we talked about it
Yep.
on the show. And I don't have scores, but it just get out. I know Thursday doesn't look great. Friday looks
Yeah.
and then Saturday it could be a wash. But just looking at some of the local teams and the rankings, I'm literally just looking at the VPA rankings. Harwood Union, who's defending their Division II lacrosse title, they are sitting at the 2 seed right now. I'd give them a game behind Burlington, and Hartford is right on their heels. Spalding is sitting as the 7th ranked team right now at 4-7. We've been talking a lot about, we did some spotlight on Montpelier baseball about a month ago, and U32 baseball, and they are right in the thick of things. We've got Linden Institute and Missisquoi Valley holding down the 1-2 seed undefeated. But Montpelier sitting as the 4th seed right now, and U32 as the 5th seed.
Oh.
That's what I'm like, that
boy.
second round, what it could be. Division II softball. Again, we were just talking about Otter Valley. They were sitting at 3 last week, and now they're kind of in that 4-5. This is a tough division.
Yeah.
You've got Linden Institute with just 1 loss. Rice Memorial is 11-2. Enosburg 10-2.
Damn.
And then you've got Mount Abe 9-3. Otter Valley 11-3.
Oh, wow.
Hartford 8-3, and there sits right after Hartford U32 at 9-5. So again, Otter Valley hoping to play Saturday against Hartford, which would be a rematch of that outstanding game last week. But who knows, with 85% chance of rain on Saturday. Girls lacrosse, we have the 2-time defending champs, the U32 Raiders, sitting as the 3 seed right now at 10-5. Green Mountain Valley down south. No, Green Mountain Valley over in Waitsfield, excuse me, as the 2 seed. And again, Hartford. We mentioned Hartford too many times, sitting undefeated. So get out if you can. Try to avoid the rain as much as possible. I know we've had a wet May. We've had 3 good
brutal.
days. I just was hoping we'd have a 7-day stretch
Yeah.
through the weekend. And then I saw Saturday, and I was like, that is just awful. CB, we didn't talk about this last week, but what about 2028 Olympics flag football?
Yo, that's going to be, if you're other
It's my
countries,
dream.
if you're other countries
It's my dream.
and you have to line up against like a friggin' NFL player,
Do you think that will happen?
that
I was reading-
that anyone in the NFL will play.
Well, it said, obviously, NFL owners voted to approve player participation.
One per team, right?
2028, right. Permitting anyone under contract to try out for a flag football team in the summer games. The resolution included some restrictions, namely that prospective Olympic teams can only roster 1 player per NFL team, like CB just said, and must meet NFL standards for health and safety. That's what happened.
Yep.
CBS then says, what's next? Nothing pressing, at least for now, because it's the 2028 Summer Games, and they're 3 years away. And it's possible, if not probable, that Team USA and other countries' Olympic teams will be compromised primarily of non-NFL players, giving flag footballs a vastly different format. Still some big names like A. Justin Jefferson are already anticipating trying out for the team. So there's a lot to iron out.
Yeah. Is that the Olympics that's in like LA?
I believe so, but it does not state here, but I think so.
I think-
You're testing my memory, though.
I feel like there's an upcoming Olympics in like
Do
LA.
you think that professional players should be in in flag football.
No,
me either.
I kind of
either.
like it being comprised of, because that's not fair to other countries either.
Right. Right. So again, what's next? And they're saying nothing pressing because it's still 3 years away. But
it'll be.
And then what happens? I know it's flag football. You're going to tell me you can't blow out a knee though?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I really don't want my $40 million wide receiver going and playing in the Olympics, but we'll see.
It'll be way more fun to watch if it's not NFL players.
Right. Right. Exactly. And that is my dream. I mean, in the 80s, I was just like, well, girls can't play football, but why can't we have flag football? And now it's huge. It is huge.
Are they going to have a women's team?
That I don't know as well. Okay. I'm praying they do. It would be the smart thing to do.
Yep.
And it would be the right thing to do. I did not bring up Aaron Rodgers last week because I'm sure you guys don't need to hear about him. But the best thing I heard, and I only have one best thing I heard.
It does include women's.
It does include women. That's very important. We talked a couple months ago about Cam Hayward, the defensive lineman for the Steelers, who's a stud. And his quote then, well over a month ago, was, "I ain't doing that darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simply the pitch. If you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want to be a part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin off my back." Boom. And I get it.
Yeah.
It's a Steeler way.
Yep.
And it is the Steeler way. But why is Aaron Rodgers handcuffing the Steelers, and why are they waiting? Why are they waiting?
Yeah. What power does he have over the Steelers?
I'm dumbfounded.
Who does he have info on?
And I'm hearing more about Kirk Cousins, but I think that's the Steelers' nice way of saying, "Come on, Rodgers, you're either in or you're not."
Yeah.
But that's the fallback.
Yep.
I literally would go into my office someday as the president, owner, GM, get everyone together, and I'd say, "Let's get Atlanta on the phone. What is it going to take?"
Right.
Sorry, Aaron, we've got to move on.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
do what you got to do to get Kirk Cousins in black and gold.
I agree. 100%.
So recently, in the last day, I believe, Terry Bradshaw had something he would like to say. He said, calling the prospect of a one-year rental, meaning Aaron Rodgers, a complete joke. The guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on some bark and whisper to the gods out there. Thank you, Terry Bradshaw. Thank you, Terry Bradshaw. Chew on bark. Now, if I'm Tomlin, I'm the GM, I'm the owner.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is Steeler freaking nation.
Right.
We got to move on.
Exactly. Gail says, "What is up with my Steelers?" Ugh.
Yes. Sis, I don't know. I'm trying. We're talking a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest quarterbacks to put on a Steeler uniform.
Right.
Him and Ben Roethlisberger is saying, move on. Move on. And I love the quote. I absolutely love the quote. So I don't know. I just wish they would pull the plug on waiting. This is a good team. He's got a hell of when I say he, I mean a quarterback.
Yep.
Has a heck of a roster. They just got DK Metcalf in there. They drafted a rookie out of Iowa for the backfield, and this kid's a bull.
Yeah.
It's time to move on. They got a great defense. You just are missing the quarterback.
And out of all the players that you're hung up on,
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we're not talking Joe Burrow here.
Right.
We're talking Aaron Rodgers.
In 40,
41?
Yeah, 41, I think.
41, I think.
Who had a terrible season last year. He looked
terrible.
Yeah, he looked like
terrible.
Like he had one too many head injuries. Gail says, "Thank you, Terry."
Oh, Terry, as soon as I saw Steeler Great has voices his opinion, or whatever the headline said, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was Bradshaw, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be really good. This is when I wish that they were in studio, just running a show.
Yeah.
So he could just go off.
Right.
Do
it.
Oh, my God. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about what CB and I have watched way too much of, but there's never too much.
Joe, what's up? Joe's in the house.
Joe's in the house. The W.
Oh, my gosh.
We talked a little NBA. And we know it's early in the W season.
Yep.
My sister went to the Connecticut Sun Dallas Wings last night.
Nice.
She had texted me to say, I don't know who to cheer for, living in Connecticut.
Yep.
And I'm like, just cheer for Paige Beckers.
Yep.
Enjoy the game, but just cheer for Paige Beckers.
Absolutely.
They sent me the starting lineup being announced. It was really cool. And Paige Beckers is just...
She had a great game.
She had a great game.
She's coming, like, despite everything going against Dallas and who she's
Right.
got to play with, right? You have the black hole that is Enrique.
Yeah.
She's facilitating.
Black hole.
Just
That was good.
once the ball goes there, you're just never seeing it.
You
again.
know it's not coming back.
It's just never. You're just
It's
never
not
seeing
coming
it
back.
But yeah, she's looking like she hasn't even.
Right.
Yeah, like there's not been no change. Like
They interviewed Gumbawale after the game, and they're like, you guys have only had a month together, and she's like, well, yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. And I'm thinking, what the announcer is really trying to say to you is you got a hell of a point guard,
Yes.
a facilitator. I like the word you used earlier.
Yep.
Describing Sue Bird, who can do it all.
Right.
Your job is easier now, but
Yes.
just be smart. Your shot selection just
Yep.
needs to be smarter.
Right.
Just be smart.
I know, and we kind of like talked about this last time. Is she's just chasing her stats.
Yes, and that's
She's
not a team player.
She's not winning a ball game. She's
Yep.
chasing her stats, and that's why she takes insane shots. And even if her shot is off, she will continue taking those insane
absolutely.
shots instead of like, hey, Paige Beckers, yes, is a great facilitator. She's also got a great shot.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah,
She's smooth.
yeah,
And the thing I like about her is, and I know the W has just come so far, and Caitlin Clark, kudos, because you are the one player who really put it more in the spotlight and captured the attention
yep,
of millions.
yep.
But Paige Beckers is right in that same
Oh
category.
yeah,
She's just, and this is no knock on Cece whatsoever.
Yep.
But she's just not, she doesn't have the showboat flashiness to her.
Right.
She just does her job.
yes.
You know?
Yep.
You might see a smile every
Yep.
now and again,
And
but she
she's-
just does her
And
job.
she's always going over to her teammates and congratulating, amping them
Yes.
up. Like she's always going.
Yes.
Like whereas like Cece, I feel like has a lot of maturing to do. Paige,
Indeed.
I
Indeed.
feel like Paige will move into that leadership role.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this season.
CB, I think she's already there.
I know.
I really
was gonna
do.
say, like she really has all. Like she always communicates really well. She hypes up her. She always gives flowers to her teammates. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And as a point guard and as your rookie, like it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Gail says Paige looked great. Got a hero's welcome last night.
Oh, she did. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved welcome.
Absolutely.
It was great to see. I watched the whole game, and then I went on to, who did I tell you I was watching?
It was Seattle and
No. Was
oh,
it Atlanta?
LA
No, I was watching LA and Atlanta.
Oh.
LA and Atlanta, and I gotta say, Kelsey Plum, and I can't put a finger on it yet. Looks like a different player,
She
and
does.
I think because she is now in the facilitator leader role,
Yep.
that Chelsea Gray
Yep.
carries for the Aces.
Right.
Every time I watch her play, she doesn't miss.
No.
I'm like, God, she should have. The ball should have been in her hands more. But I get it on an Aces team that has a Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young. You have Asia Wilson, the MVP.
Yep.
But God, is that Aces team going to miss her?
Oh yeah.
And I watch her on the defensive end. She's just
a
as good
love
on
her.
that defensive end. And like a Paige Beckers, she is leading that team. Because that's a group in LA that just doesn't know how to win yet.
Right.
Derica Hamby, again,
Oh my! She had a.
just going to keep Derica Hamby, most underrated player, one of them.
Yeah, last night, but the game before, how many steals did she have? She was just hands in the passing lane, deflecting like passes. Oh my god!
And there's another former Las Vegas Aces
Yep.
that had a falling out with the
Yep.
team.
Yep.
So I'm like, you two. And this is why, how do I not gravitate towards
Right.
the Sparks?
Yep.
But Rickea Jackson was back last night. Obviously,
Wait till
Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink comes back.
That is going to be the team. We're going to talk in a little bit about our own NW power rankings. And they're not there yet.
Right.
But we're obviously early in the season. And I just can't wait for that team to just start growing together. Because
too.
that's a really fun team.
Yep.
And on the reverse side of that, I keep falling asleep on the Atlanta Dream.
I love the
In the early
Atlanta
going.
Dream. I love the Atlanta Dream.
Alicia Gray,
One of my favorite players.
I know. And I'm just watching her last night, and I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of their basketball, but you've always talked about Gray.
Yep.
She's one of the fastest players in the W. She has to be.
She's got
smooth.
And her defense.
Yes.
Her defense is so good.
And Griner wasn't even playing last night. Fine.
Yeah.
Brianna Jones fills that big role extremely
she's
well
been
on that
playing
team.
Great, yeah.
But we liked, over the weekend, it was the Liberty and the Fever.
Oh boy, what a game.
Which was a phenomenal game. And then last night it was the Lynx and the Seattle Storm. So we'll backtrack to the weekend. That Liberty Fever game.
Oh my gosh.
I felt like we were watching a playoff game, and we're early in the season.
Yep, and it was at the Gainbridge house. It was in Indiana, which their crowds, you have to give it to them, go insane every single time.
And they're going more crazy because of the Indiana Pacers, for God's sakes.
Right.
Insane.
But and everyone was saying, like, this is the game to see, is Indiana that top 3, top 4 team, right? Because they have the roster, but is it going to all connect?
Yeah.
So everyone's like, all right, New York just blew out I don't know, everyone.
The Aces. But they've been blowing out everyone.
Yeah,
you're right.
Pretty much.
You're right.
And they are the team to beat this year. But the fact that at the end, what frustrates me about Caitlin is that when she doesn't get a call, she just puts her hands up. And
Remember I did this last week. Stop doing this.
I'm like, get back on defense.
Stop doing this.
Get back on defense.
Stop doing it. Wheels is going to be mad at us, but just stop doing this because ball's going the other way.
Exactly.
Play's going the other way.
When there's, under 2 minutes left and you're not getting the calls, we know that the refs are lacking.
Right.
To put it nicely.
Right.
They're inconsistent. They've been calling like some games they're calling everything.
Yeah, sure.
And other games they're just they're missing a lot of obvious ones.
And that's a theme.
Right.
Even looking at high school sports and being around it for 26 years, you get a game where you can get away with everything.
Right.
And you're body punching, and it is what it is on both ends. And then you get a game where it's a ticky-tack reach.
And you just have to,
have to just anything.
Feel out how the game's being called and then adjust.
Yep.
Because you're going to have that every single season.
And I got to give Cece credit. She goes, 0 for 12 from three-point land?
And then those big threes.
Those huge
at like the end of the third.
Yep. And I thought the game, I'm like, game might be done now.
Right.
I mean, way too early on my part. But when Caitlin Clark heats up.
And then that crowd, like when she hit that 3 at the buzzer, where it was pretty much at the buzzer, and it was like friggin' 30 feet out or something.
What a game, though, huh?
It was a great
2-point game. 2-point win for the Liberty. Yeah. And again, I think I'm going to say this all year. And as
JJ
much as
looked amazing.
Wheels talks about Caitlin Clark, you guys are going to get sick of me talking about Natasha Cloud.
Oh my gosh, Natasha Cloud and JJ.
What? Like, JJ.
Unstoppable.
John Qual, but Cloud, to me, watching that game, I'm
fun.
like, this is why Caitlin Clark is struggling. Natasha Cloud was guarding her.
Yep.
Yeah, I know on screens and switching off of the screens and stuff, but it was Cloud a lot that was in her grill.
So fast, too.
And then she's going to the other end and making a difference. I'm like, she is in the spotlight like she's never been, Cloud.
Yep.
And she's not going to back down because, like we talked about last week, she's a dog.
Yep.
And I would have I wasn't even going to put the Liberty in the finals. But now that I've watched them twice, and it's all about Natasha Cloud.
Yeah.
With that star-studded lineup. I'm not even talking about Inescu and Breanna Stewart. I'm not even talking about JJ. Nope. You put her into that mix, every team has a big 3.
Yep.
And when I say you have one, that's when you're successful.
Right.
But now you've got Natasha Cloud.
Yep. It's just that player that kind of comes in and just energizes the whole team.
Yes. Absolutely.
Joe says, have a great show, and I will be back next week. Enjoy all the sports.
All sports every day.
He said, too many sports for my pea brain to keep up with. There is a lot of sports going on, Joe. But we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Try sitting in the conversation with just Charlotte and I.
Yeah.
I mean, we go all over the place.
Yep.
So that, and then I want to talk about last night's game between Seattle and the Lynx. Again, you've been high on Seattle.
Yep.
I'm getting to know Seattle a little bit better, but after watching that game last night, the Lynx pull it out. Great game.
Yep.
This Seattle team is good.
It's so good.
Malanga up to 10 minutes.
Yep. Getting a little bit more.
Got some good positioning underneath.
Yep.
What I realized quickly about the 19-year-old is she's got a 3-point shot, and she is not afraid to shoot it.
Nope, not at
2
all.
trips down the floor, 3 trips down the floor, and I'm like, and that's fine. She kept shooting.
Yeah.
But I try to remember who had a breakaway, and Malanga got back, and they're like, no freaking way do I want any part of this. We'll just set the offense up. But the kid's going to be fun to watch.
She's so long. She's so long.
I talk about Diggins.
Yep.
You talk about?
Yep. NECA.
Yep, you talk about NECA. I want to throw out Gabby Williams.
Oh, yeah, she's been playing out of her mind.
Because I know you talk about NECA, I talk about Skylar.
Yep.
And Magbagor is the other one that's under the radar.
I love Ezzy.
Under the radar.
Defensively, she's beautiful defensively.
And imagine when Malanga gets more minutes and starts to get a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
That's a tough team. But Gabby Williams, she went off for like 21 points last night.
Yep.
And she's another dog.
Yeah.
Left her off my all-dog team, but she's another dog. That team is a fun team to watch.
Love them.
So as I turned it on right before halftime, I did not know, or no, it had to have been the first half, because then McBride got in, and that was my main reasoning.
Yep.
I'm like, is she back? She was sitting on the bench the other night. Is she back? And once she came into that game, I literally said, what a different element this one player adds to this championship caliber team.
Everyone just looks more comfortable when she's on the
100%.
And like when she first came out, she hit like a couple like threes.
Yep.
And she played like
31 minutes.
Yeah, 31
minutes.
And they asked Coach Reeves about, what's her conditioning like?
Are you gonna ease her in?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah, 31 minutes later.
Yeah.
And defensively, she's solid too. But that whole team is solid.
Yep.
But I look at that team, and I don't think Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidman get enough credit.
Natisha.
I mean, do they get enough credit?
No.
These are 2 players I've watched a lot because they were both on the Connecticut Sun.
Yep.
And I had taken in a few of the games when they were there. But I look at those two and I go, underrated guards. Mm-hmm. We know what Collier brings.
Yes.
MVP stud.
Yep.
Having McBride back is just huge on both ends because I watched her defensively too.
Yep. And just spacing.
Spacing.
Right? Because
100%.
you know Courtney Williams is going to hit that midi.
Yep.
Natisha has a good 3 too.
Yep.
But man, McBride, she just
And then there's 3 more names I want to point out, and that is Carlton. We've talked about before.
Yep.
Alana Smith and Jessica Shepard. I'm like, wow. I was really focusing on the other players.
Yep.
And I'm like, I really like Smith and Shepard a lot.
Yep.
Kind of built the same, very athletic, long.
Yep.
And Carlton can get as hot as anybody when she's shooting.
Yep.
So right there, we're talking about 7 players.
Yeah.
And you usually say if you got your strong 5 and you can go 2 or 3 deep.
Yep.
This team was seconds away from beating the Liberty in the finals.
And that's why they were saying how last year's schedule really gave the Lynx an advantage because of their bench.
Right.
Because there was a lot of packed games, like quick turnarounds, and that really benefited them because they do go to the bench.
Yeah.
Unlike the friggin' Vegas Aces.
Well, the Vegas Aces, this is going to be a tough season for them.
There's no fight in them.
I agree.
It feels like there's no fight in them.
And I'm surprised Becky Hammond hasn't just ripped them a new one yet.
Their defense looks terrible.
Which was the strength.
Yeah.
That I always bragged about.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what they bring on the offensive end, but
Seattle
it was defense wins championships.
Did you see the Seattle-Vegas game? It was...
Well, it was hard to watch, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, my gosh.
I
didn't watch. I watched the first half, and I'm like, eh. But the way Seattle played... And it was a beautiful game for Seattle. Tough to watch as an Aces fan, but
I wonder how many more years before Asia Wilson isn't wearing an Aces uniform, like Stewie.
Yeah.
Once Stewie knew, Sue Bird's going to retire, and I've had a hell of a run in Seattle.
Yep.
I'm a free agent now, or I see it. I see it happening in a couple of years.
Well, everyone's a free agent next year.
Okay. Then there it is.
Because the CBA.
Yep.
It's
Which we did discuss that. Everybody.
Wild.
We did discuss that. Everybody, yeah.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Besides the rookies who are on the rookie contracts, but who franchise players, who's staying?
Yeah.
Who's staying?
And if it ends up being as bad as it's looked here in the early going.
The only person I can confidently say that's staying is Collier's staying in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Ionescu's staying in New York. I definitely believe that. Plum's going to stay in LA. But, like, man, it's anyone's game.
Team would Asia Wilson look good on? That's a good one. I mean, I just want to put her next to Collier, but that's not fair.
No, that's not fair.
I mean, let's just put everybody on the links right now.
Crazy.
Talk to us about Caitlin Clark's quad strain that she had in preseason, which I didn't know.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So she had a little quad injury. She had to sit one of the preseason games.
Okay, I do not remember that.
There was no way she was not playing in Iowa.
Right.
So they,
indeed.
So I feel like no matter what the quad was feeling like, she was playing in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And then you go into the first 4 games of the season, where she for the first time in years had an off season.
Right.
Where she put on muscle. Everyone talked about all of the muscle that Caitlin Clark
I was
brings,
one of those ones saying she's got to put the muscle on.
That she picked up. But with muscle comes a little bit more stiffness, right? But she's also, 23 years old?
Yep.
So nothing hurts you when you're 23. So maybe some of the conditioning, some of the stretching, some of the recovery, it's a little bit not as important for her as, say, like a player like Alicia Clark or Skylar Diggins, right? They're older. Skylar Diggins is a freak of nature.
She is a freak of nature.
But they know how important conditioning is and stretching is and recovery is.
Yep.
When you're 23, you're not thinking about that. And you wonder,
it's like cardios, because I know how much you love cardio.
Oh, fuck cardio.
Oh,
I'll take the $2 on that one.
Oh, is it $2?
It's $2.
Okay. Right.
I will always take the $2 on that one. But she went from having an off season where she wasn't playing live basketball. She was relaxing, recovering.
Yep.
Great, good for her. She put on muscle, and then she had a little injury, and then went into a season where she played 4 games with 30+ minutes.
Yep.
Right. And that New York game was a rough game for her.
Absolutely.
And so you just think it was gonna happen.
Bound to happen.
Bound to happen. She was practicing. It sounds like she was practicing from what I've read on online. But so is it a huge quad strain? No. But if you were gonna pick a 2-week time frame for her to be out, the next 2 weeks should be not as winnable with Caitlin Clark, obviously. But they're playing like the Mystics twice. They're playing Chicago, and I think they're playing. I forgot who the other team is playing. But so
you're basically saying Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, and Sophie Cunningham can step up in her absence.
Yeah, apparently Sid Colson's going to be running point guard.
Sid Colson.
But
how did I forget about her?
Yeah,
I've watched enough of their games this year.
But yeah, Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell.
Mitchell will pick up some more scoring.
Sophie Cunningham, they're going to have to.
Sophie Cunningham can definitely.
Yeah.
Get into that scoring column and give you some consistency.
But my big thing is someone's got to figure out how to feed the ball to AB, because AB is playing her mind off. That's another player that, like, last year to this year, holy shit.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Holy shit.
We talked about her conditioning. I talked about her foot speed.
That was
apparent.
Footwork is friggin' gorgeous.
In the first game I watched, I was like, wow, that's complete foot speed.
And her decision making. Mm-hmm. Like, her decision making, she's more comfortable with Cece. Like, they know each other.
Yes.
They know how to play off of each other.
Now that they've had that one season.
But without Cece, you have to figure out a way to still get AB the ball.
When they were playing the Liberty last weekend on Saturday, I just kept saying, get the ball to AB.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark was doing that.
Yep.
They would go through stretches. They were struggling. She knew, I got to get the ball into my big.
Yep.
Because she's never played with a big like that before.
Right.
And AB just looks so good this year.
So good.
She came ready. And it's not that she wasn't last year. I just still think she's learning, growing.
Right.
But you can tell she put in the work this offseason that really has made a difference because her foot speed alone. But they do have players like Alexi Hall.
Right.
Who can step up and take those extra minutes.
Yep.
Colson, yes. Yep. And Cunningham, because wasn't Cunningham out for a game or two early?
Yep.
So now she's ready to take off too. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And like you just said, good time in the scheduling.
Right. Season's still early.
To maybe,
they'll be
fine. So I'm just going to give you my power rankings, my top 5. Sure. And you can just shift it your way. Mm-hmm. Number 5, I struggle. I have Atlanta and Seattle.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have two there. And I went away from CBS. They didn't have the Fever in it at all.
Oh, really?
They didn't have the Fever in the top 5.
Wow.
And they had them at like 7. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta right now at 5. So that's Seattle just.
I agree. I'll have to agree with you because I think that Atlanta is more well-rounded.
Yes.
They have really good guards and they have 2 really good
And again,
good bigs.
they're fun to watch on the defensive
Yeah.
end.
And yes. Yes.
I won't steal the Alicia Gray from you because
Yeah.
you've been talking about her for a year or more, and I'm just like, wow, I get it now.
Yeah. They're the more well-rounded team, so yeah, I agree.
Number 4, I do have the Fever.
Yeah.
At 2-2. That's a really good team, and it's Aaliyah Boston again.
Yeah, and you're just waiting
She can
for
carry them.
Yeah, honestly, you're just waiting for DB to come out offensively.
Right.
She had a really great game defensively against New York, but she hasn't scored a lot.
She has not. She hasn't found her groove yet.
Right. Her yeah.
I do have to laugh, and it's not in a good way, when Caitlin Clark doesn't like the calls and Dwana Bonner doesn't, and I'm like, oh my God, stop!
Yeah,
you guys just stop! Oh my God, you guys are on both on the same team now.
Yep.
Number 3, the Phoenix Mercury.
Yeah.
And watch out when Copper comes back. I know she's still a ways away from coming, but that's a
Copper-
really good team.
Copper and Sabali, holy
Right?
crap! And then you have
Sabali
AT.
is sick.
Then you have AT.
AT.
Oh my gosh.
Who I would always say, and do you know that the record for playoffs, making the playoffs consecutively, belongs to the Connecticut Sun?
Wow.
8 years in a row they've been in the playoffs.
I did
8
not know
years in a
that.
row. I heard that and I went, wow, we all know it's probably not going to happen.
They're not making it this
That's
year.
because you traded your whole team.
Yeah.
But I always used to say about Alyssa Thomas, she would run the point. And I'm like, that big, strong body belongs in the paint.
Yeah.
Watching her with Phoenix, she's doing a little bit of everything.
Both, yep.
Which Asia Wilson has the ball in her hands a little bit more now, too.
She
I know I'm
facilitate.
digressing, but it just popped into my head. But Thomas has got a good crew around her.
Yep.
Sabali is just sick.
She's so good.
She is just sick.
Yeah.
Another one of the most underrated players that nobody's talking about. And when Copper comes back, it's watch out, because that's one of my favorite guards to watch. But Alyssa Thomas, they are using her so well inside and out.
Yeah. Did she do something with her shoulders? Because I feel like her shot.
You feel like her shot?
Yo, I forgot what
I thought
game.
it was the same.
Yeah. Well, the other day she hit it was a buzzer beater. She was like 3/4 of the way down the court and she chucked it and it hit the backboard. I was like, yo, labrum what?
She just maybe got a good push.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
She chucked it.
Okay.
But I feel like again, she's not hitting a 3.
Yeah,
but
right,
at least
right,
on
right.
the free throws, it looks a little better.
It does.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
little bit
I just think she's such a solid all-around player.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fun to watch.
Yeah,
And that
she
Phoenix
is.
team is fun to watch.
She is.
And I remember when Taurasi retired, and obviously Griner was leaving town anyway.
Yep.
In my head, I'm like, are they rebuilding? But then I'm like, no, you go out and you pick up some free agents and Copper and Thomas. And so I have them at 3. I don't know if you agree with that one.
Yeah, I do.
So then that leaves us 1 and 2.
Yep, New York and the Lynx.
And I'm going, this might be my heart talking. I'm going Liberty 2, Lynx 1. They're both undefeated.
Yep.
And I think it's because in my mind right now, after watching the Lynx play last night with McBride back in the lineup, it's just so much fun to watch.
Yes.
And I'm like, I know Natasha Cloud does make that much of a difference.
She does.
If you took Cloud off of New York, I would lean heavily with the Lynx.
Me too, because then, especially with Lainey Hamilton being out, the fact that they still have
Good
Natasha Cloud, is huge for them.
Yeah.
If they didn't have Natasha Cloud and Lainey Hamilton was still out, like you're just missing that energy, right? Yeah.
So you know what? It's even.
Yeah.
But and again, watching the Fever and the Liberty, that just lets you know what's coming down the road, whether it's in the playoffs or not. Who do you put 1 to?
Oh man,
I know I'm putting you on the spot because your heart is swaying the same way as mine.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the champs.
No disrespect. But also I have to like Coach Reeves, Cheryl Reeves.
Such a good coach.
She's so freaking smart.
So smart.
She's so smart. And
I want her mic'd up every time out.
Like the one game, she's like, Heidemann, get into the paint. And Heidemann did. And that was the game that Heidemann had a huge fourth quarter or third quarter, whatever it was. But
she went off.
And not that, I can't think of her name. Who was the Liberties coach? I can see her.
Yep, I can see her.
She's Australian.
Dombrello,
Bronbello.
It's right there.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a great accent. Great accent.
Not that she's a bad coach.
No, I just like Reeves better.
But Reeves, I respect Reeves a lot on both ends of the ball.
Yeah.
So it just depends on it. It sucks. Yeah. Oh, Sandy Brondello. Thank you, Jen.
Brondello.
Always
what
coming
did I
in
say?
clutch.
G. Brondello. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks, Jen. Always coming in clutch.
Yep.
But yeah.
That's why she's going to come in studio soon.
Please, Jen, come in and talk sports with us.
I mean, Jen, you could say no to me, but you can't say no to CB.
Come and hang out with us, Jen.
Which leads me right into
softball.
Come
on, Jen.
And the College World Series. You know, the Super Regionals weren't as much fun as the Regionals the weekend before.
Yeah.
And it was some games like literally South Carolina. I don't have a freaking clue how you're not moving on. How are you not moving on? Jen, how many runs did UCLA have to score in that game 2 in the 7th inning? I think it was 3. I don't know. But everything happened with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
2 outs?
Yes. And South Carolina would have won 2 games and boom, they're in the College World Series. So UCLA comes back, scores 2 or 3 runs, they win the game, and then they take care of business the next day.
She says 3, I think. It was crazy.
Yeah. It was insane. That game was insane. So, yeah, I take back what I say. Super Regionals wasn't fun. It was a lot of fun. So now we are on to the College World Series, which, Jen, I think we should do the old school thing where we used to put all the names in a hat and pick a name out. We've got to do that but that would be before tomorrow. Holy crap. It starts tomorrow. So obviously the number 1 seed, Texas A&M, never even made it to these Super Regionals. So we have got the 4-time defending champ Oklahoma Sooners as the top seed going in. They have a total of 8 championships as well, national championships. Patty Gasso, I have to do this. You know my numbers thing? Mm-hmm. I've been really good. I haven't been throwing a lot of numbers at you guys. Her record, 1,565 wins to 359 losses.
Holy crap.
That's insane.
That's wild.
And this was supposed to be one of her younger teams. Mm-hmm. Heavily favored. The next highest seeded team in the College World Series is number 3, Florida. I'll just give you by seedings. Mm-hmm. Then number 6, Texas. Number 7, Tennessee. Number 9, UCLA. Number 12, Texas Tech. Number 16, Oregon, and unranked Ole Miss.
Jen says was surprised Ole Miss beat Arkansas.
Me too. I was really looking forward.
You were high on Arkansas.
I was so looking forward to watching those hitters. Where am I here? Tennessee is going, this I can't freaking believe. I hope I have it right, but I've got Tennessee. Yes, I've got this right. Number 7, Tennessee will open tomorrow, playing number 2, Oklahoma.
Damn.
And Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that matches up 2 of the 3 best pitchers in college softball. Obviously, Kennedy is on Texas Tech. They will be playing Ole Miss. But at 2:30 tomorrow on ESPN, you have got Carolyn Pickens going up against... Oh, no, sorry. I have them going up against Oklahoma. So I'm sorry. I have Pickens and Kennedy as 2 of the best pitchers in the game that are not going up against each other. But Pickens, you're going to love this one, CB, just hit on the gun 79.4.
Damn.
Breaking the record of 78.2, which was her record to begin with.
Holy shit.
So they're going up against Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Najee Kennedy is on Texas Tech. They will be playing Ole Miss, and I am here to tell you that I am picking Texas Tech to win the whole thing. Jen just fell out of her chair, by the way.
Jen said agreed about the pitchers, and then she said Pickens and Sam Landry.
Okay, thank you. I didn't have Landry written down, so thank you, Jen. And Jen, I'm picking Texas Tech.
See, Jen, this is why you should be in the studio.
Exactly. So I just think it's funny that Tennessee, one of the top teams, is opening with Oklahoma. I'm like 2 versus 7. Oh, all right. Texas Tech will get Ole Miss, the unranked team. And I'm going to fall off my chair tomorrow if Ole Miss upsets Texas Tech. Number 6, Texas. That drives Jody nuts.
Yep.
And she's a huge fan.
Yep.
She's a huge fan. Has to open up tomorrow. I got 11 a.m. or noon written down against number 3, Florida.
Damn, that's tough.
What?
Jen says Landry is top tier, will be going professional after the World Series. And she also says, I am not shocked.
See, so we got Landry, Pickens, and Kennedy. You got to see, CB, you got to see these guys.
Kennedy does need help from her team.
She does.
She pitches great.
She does.
And can hit home runs, but she needs help.
And not a lot of pitchers, bat. And her freaking bat is just... Jordy Ball, I would give anything to have Nebraska in. So they just missed out, did Nebraska. And Jordy Ball, one of my favorite players to watch, coming back from an ACL. It showed her training, which was, she was a dog through her training. Great pitcher, goes to Nebraska, and bats leadoff.
Damn.
That girl can run a count. What should a leadoff hitter do? Get on base?
Yeah.
She'll find any way to get on base. Her bat is amazing anyway.
Yep.
But she will run a count. She will find ways to get on base. I would have given anything to have Nebraska in it. Jen, my biggest upset in round 1, and you're going to laugh and go, it's not an upset, Lori. I'm just going to give you the rankings. So, number 16, Oregon, over number 9, UCLA. And if I was a gambler, I would even bet on that game, but I am not. I am not. So, Jen, give me your pick between Tennessee and Oklahoma. And what say you about the Florida-Texas game tomorrow? I'm going to go with number 6, Texas over Florida. I don't know why, because Texas is struggling, but I think now that they're there and got through regionals and super regionals, I think that the monkey's off the back a little bit, and I don't know why. I'm picking them over Florida, picking Oregon over UCLA, and I'm picking Texas Tech to win the whole thing. I have no idea why.
Jen says the new format does have days off, so teams could potentially go one pitcher all the way if they stay in the winner's bracket. She said agreed, I think about...
Got to write Landry down here,
and then she said Florida and OU. Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. It's hard to go against Oklahoma. It really isn't. And I feel bad for Tennessee. And if
Jen,
you would watch...
winning the whole thing?
If you had watched the game, I wanted to ask you what you thought of Tennessee's powder blue uniforms. Because never... Kind of like the Royals.
Oh, okay.
And I either like them... I'm used to it with the Royals. When I first turned the TV on, I was like, woo, that's... But with the orange of Tennessee, that's freaking sharp. It was freaking sharp.
Ooh, whoops.
So all games on tomorrow. Start watching at around 11 a.m. or noon.
Oh, nice. I do like them.
Yeah, really cool, huh?
Yeah.
So it's going on all day tomorrow, and watch the College World Series. I know Jen might watch a few of the games. If it's not Texas Tech, I can't go with Oklahoma again, and I don't know why.
Jen says, I think it is Oklahoma's to lose, so I will stay with them.
She'll stay with Oklahoma.
Which, not surprising.
I don't know why I don't know what it is about Texas Tech. Yes, we do know it's Kennedy, but there's just something that keeps pushing me that way.
The blue is called Summit Blue for Pat Summit.
Oh, man. On that note, we're going to stop talking college because we ended it with Pat Summit.
Yep.
Does it get any better than that?
I don't know. Tara Vanderveer is writing a book, apparently.
No kidding.
Yep.
I'll be reading that one.
I'm reading Don Staley's book right now.
Are you?
Yeah, I bought it over the weekend.
I'm going to have to read that one. I'm still working on my Michelle Obama book from vacation. Because what happens when you come back from vacation? You stop.
Yep.
Thanks, Jen, for your input. I needed that third pitcher, Landry, so thank you with that.
Next week, Jen.
Yeah, next week, Jen, you're going to have to come give us the breakdown.
She keeps chiming in, but she's not responding to us asking her to come on to the podcast.
And I'm going to laugh if Ole Miss goes far because well-deserved. I still can't believe that.
She says maybe.
Oh, maybe! And she will be, no doubt, toting her Oklahoma hat. So if Wheels doesn't have anything going on, I'm just going to put Jen and Jody on the set, and I'm just going to walk away.
We don't even have to do anything.
I'm just going to walk away. That would be fun.
Oh, Jen says, but we have a game on Wednesday.
Jesus, Jen. You're right. But the world, it won't be over with, will it, Jen? I know it could be, it might not be. No, it won't be over with. I don't think. It could be. It's tough to say. Mm-hmm. But we're going to move on to the NFL now. God, I'm going to be so bummed when softball is over because I have just watched way too much of it the last 2 weeks. Way too much of it. And I sprinkle in the WNBA.
Champ Series starts Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Football. Let's talk some football. I said tune in, let's talk fantasy football. Because I might have done a few mock drafts.
Love it.
And it's not really helping me because I don't know where I'm drafting.
Right.
But I just like to draft from every spot.
Still fun.
So I'm going to ask, the first question I'm going to ask is, in these mock drafts, not that I do, well, it could be on that too, but ones that I'm reading articles on, it has the top, I'm going to say 6. There's 6 players that are just dialed in to 1 through 6 in no particular order, because it's, when it comes to fantasy football, sometimes it's just your preference.
Yep.
So it's Bijan Robinson,
Okay.
Justin Jefferson,
Okay.
Jamar Chase,
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs,
Yep.
Barkley,
Yep.
and CeeDee Lamb. If you have the number 1 pick in the draft out of those 6,
Ooh.
who are you taking? Just wrote on the thing.
Ooh. That's so tough.
And I can list them again if you want me to. And please write, Jen, you got it. I hope Ordy's listening because I want to know who he would pick. But Chase, Jefferson, and Lamb for the receiver position. Robinson, Barkley, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Which is funny because Jahmyr Gibbs went late in the 2nd round last year in our fantasy football draft.
Yep.
I think that's just hilarious there.
Ooh. Yeah, and it's just, do you go running back or do you go receiver?
Yeah, that's just it. It's your preference. Are you in a PPR league?
Yeah.
If you're in a PPR league, then it really evens out the playing field.
It's like a part of me wants to still choose Barkley because he went absolutely insane. But then I also don't want to choose Barkley.
Right.
So that's so tough. JJ always disappoints me when I bet on him.
I had him last year, and he ended up helping me immensely. But I also had Jahmyr Gibbs, too.
But literally every time I bet on him, he would miss it by a yard.
I remember.
A yard.
I
and
remember.
I was like, oh, my gosh. I don't know. Maybe Jamar Chase. I'm going Jamar Chase.
Did you write it down?
No.
Write it down, and we'll go. Okay, the next one is you miss out on the top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy football. Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. But you still want to get one of the tops. Do you draft with your next pick Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, or Joe Burrow?
Oh.
Okay. All right. You're drafting at the end of the first round, which means you're almost double dipping. You can be drafting 9 or 10, 10 or 11, whatever, many teams. So you've missed out on Robinson, Gibbs, Barkley, even Genty. You're trying to pick between Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Who do you pick?
Oh, buddy.
This depends on if Christian McCaffrey is usually good every other year.
Right.
So this would be his good year.
Yeah, because he was injured mostly last year.
I drafted him,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I drafted him with the first pick in fantasy one year, and he was awful. Well, he wasn't awful. He didn't play. He was hurt.
Yeah.
So do you go with McCaffrey on what should be the good year, or do you draft Derrick Henry? Okay. Now going away from fantasy. This is all CBS related because we like to fantasize about everything, even though it's not NFL season. They're giving their top 10 favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm going to name all 10 of them.
Okay.
All right. The LA Chargers, and this is 10-1 for CBS. Green Bay Packers, Bengals, Commanders, Rams. So that's 10 through 6. Top 5. Lions at 5, Chiefs at 4, Ravens at 3, Bills at 2, and Eagles at 1. Who is your, it's way too early to pick a Super Bowl team. Who are you picking? Don't you think it's funny that I listed the Bills at 2, Ravens at 3, and the Chiefs at 4?
Yep. That's wild.
What?
That's wild.
All right. Who is your way too early pick for Rookie of the Year on offense? And it could not be any of these three that CBS named. Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, or Cam Ward?
Ooh. That's tough.
All right. Couple more. 3 more. We're not going to do the MVP one because these other ones are much more fun. The MVP had the... You know what I don't like about the MVP is it's always quarterbacks.
Yeah.
List
Always,
of 5 on
always.
CBS, the top 5, and they're all quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Jackson, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Daniels. All right. Of the new coaches, which one will have the most success this year? The Chicago Bears and Coach Johnson, the Jags and Liam Cohen, the Raiders and Pete Carroll, or the Patriots and Mike Vrabel. And I could list many more, but of those 4, who do you see having the most success in year 1?
Ooh. But there's 2 really tough ones.
I don't know how we're going to go by success, but
there's
tough to say.
There's two really...
Let's go with making the playoffs. I mean, and there could be more than...
Yeah.
You can put 2 down.
Okay. Oh, man.
Yep, I'm just going to go with that one. Okay. And these are 2 who's going to have the biggest effect on their team. One is a veteran signing through free agency, and the other one was a trade that happened in the offseason. So with the veteran signing through free agency, who do you think will have the biggest effect on their new team? Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, Devontae Adams, or Stephon Diggs?
Ooh. Wait, where did Diggs end up?
Fields, who?
Diggs. Where did he end up?
Darnold's with the Seahawks, Fields is with the Jets,
Yeah.
Adams is with the Rams,
Yeah.
and Diggs is with the Patriots.
Ooh. Ooh.
And it might be unfair with Diggs because he's
Yeah.
coming back from the ACL.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say when he comes back, I think he's going to have a huge effect on that team.
Oh, man.
But I just have one that just keeps sticking out like a sore thumb with me. And last of the players traded in the NFL offseason. This one's fun because it's only one quarterback in this one. Who's going to have the biggest effect on their new team that got traded? Geno Smith to the Raiders. DK Metcalf to the Steelers. George Pickens to the Cowboys. And Deebo Samuel to the Commanders.
Ooh. That's
I'm going to answer with a dark horse there.
for all of them. I'm like between like 2 of them.
Right.
For all of them.
Right. God, Wheels, we miss you. You would have enjoyed this. We love our Whiteboard Wednesday.
Also, that was a pretty big slice of cake. And
So good, though.
it's so good. It was light.
So good.
It was
yes.
light.
Fluffy.
Yep.
Light and fluffy. All right. First question was if you have the number one pick in fantasy football, who are you taking between Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, Bijan Robinson, and Jamar Chase? It sounds like you and I went the same.
Chase.
We went with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Okay. That one, I mean, the guy is sick.
Yeah, the
guy is just
he's gonna get all, like, come on.
What was my next question to you? You've missed out on the top 3 quarterbacks. Now I lost who I was asking you between. Oh, no, I didn't. Right here. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick Mahomes. Who do you use that next pick on?
I went with Hurts.
You did. I went with Joe Burrow.
Oh, yep. Just because Hurts runs.
He runs, and he gets great points. Yep.
Just
and the thing with Burrow, I used to think that held him back in fantasy because the running quarterbacks get major points.
Yep. But Wheels did really well. Wheels did really well with him last year.
I mean, he passes for 400 yards.
Yep.
And guess what he's going to have to do this year? Pass for 500 yards.
Because
I'm not sure they have a defense.
They have no defense.
They have no defense.
They really didn't fill a lot of spots.
They did not.
They did horrible on the draft.
They did. And I can't remember the kid they drafted in round 1, but to me it was the biggest reach.
Yeah.
And he's already not even practicing. It has to be some kind of injury.
Yep.
And I'm like, there you go. You got a head case right now.
Yep.
He might figure it out, but he's not going to figure it out this year. And if they don't re-sign Trey Hendrickson, one of the best pass rushers in football, then they're really in trouble. You've missed out on the running backs, and you're in the back end of round 1, or you're double dipping with early pick in round 2. Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry are sitting there. Which one do you take?
I went with Henry.
Me too.
He's a freak of nature.
He is.
Freak of nature.
And you know what? We got to give him a shout out
Yep.
because he just signed an extension with
Yep.
the Ravens. I want to say 25 guaranteed,
Nice.
which is one of the highest contracts
For a running
back has gotten.
Yep.
And it's like a 2-year extension.
Yep.
They're taking care of him.
Yeah. Good
They
for
really
him.
are.
He
And
deserves it.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. He's a freak of nature.
James Cook, the young man from Buffalo who had a phenomenal season.
Yep.
He's holding out because he wants $15 million a year.
Damn.
I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
And he had a great season.
He did.
And now's the time to ask for that. But I was
Yeah.
like, that running back market that plummeted for the
Yep.
last 3 years
Yep.
is all of a sudden the stock on it is just going up. Super Bowl, correct?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yep.
Super Bowl. We did the top 10. I'll quickly go 10-1. Chargers, Packers, Bengals, Commanders, Rams. Lions, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and Eagles. My sister is going to kick my tail for this one. It's just a gut. I went with the Ravens.
Oh, really?
I wanted to go with Bills, but I just can't figure the Bills out every year.
So my dad would definitely go with the Bills.
Yep.
I went with the Lions.
You did?
I did, because the Ravens and the Bills can't figure it out
They
in
choke.
the playoffs. They can't. They choke. And
All of a sudden, the P word comes up, and Lamar Jackson goes, it's the playoffs.
They choke.
Playoffs?
They both choke.
Playoffs?
They both choke. So I'm going with the Lions.
That's funny.
Their defense should be healthy. Their defense should be healthy this year. And also, it's a little bit of my heart, but because I don't want to see another Chiefs or Eagles.
My sister is not going to be happy because being a Steeler fan, and it's just literally, it's my God. I wanted to say Buffalo.
Yeah.
I really did. I wanted to go with your dad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, their big signing was Joey Bosa, and I already heard he's hurt. It's fine. You can be hurt now. You're still going to be ready. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I would love to see Josh Allen get a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Says the Dolphin fan who never cheers for the Bills, but I like Josh Allen. I really do.
Me too. They always, again, choke.
All right, Rookie of the Year.
Tough.
Offensive.
This is tough.
I almost put Shador Sanders in there just to be a joker because you never know, he could.
I mean.
But anyways, for this show, we're going to go Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter, and Cam Ward.
Who did you choose?
I choose Mr. Genty right here.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know what it is about this kid.
Yep.
And I love the other two as well.
Me too.
I think Cam Ward's going to surprise.
Yep.
And I'm never going to take Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I went with Ward.
You did go with Ward.
Yeah,
Good.
just because.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And again, I think the Titans will be much improved. I think Ward's going to surprise his doubters. And Travis Hunter is still Travis Hunter. I just think he's got a lot to learn, meaning he wants to play both sides of the ball. They're never going to have him practice on both sides in the same day, which they shouldn't. You can't confuse the guy.
Right.
And I get that he could do it in college, but this is the NFL.
Yeah.
He is still going to be so much fun to watch.
He is. He is.
So much fun to watch. All right, next we went with what new coach will have the biggest effect on his team. And we had Patriots Vrabel, Raiders Carroll, Jags Cohen, and the Bears Ben Johnson.
So this is tough. Is it?
I know who you picked.
Kathy Thurston's in the house.
Hi, Kathy.
Is it the coach or is it the team? Because you said biggest effect on the team.
Because I believe it comes, I think the Bears should have been good the last 2 years. Now I think with Ben Johnson in the house, you're going to see a playoff team.
Yeah. So I picked because you said I could pick two.
Yep.
I picked Vrabel and Johnson.
I picked Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
And I think what you're going to see is you're looking at, and the Patriots and the Bears are different teams because they both went out in free agency and made their team drastically better.
Made great moves.
But they did the smartest thing by bringing in those two. I think Liam Cohen, and I know you guys laugh at me all the time about the Jags, but I just saw what he did with the Bucs and that offense.
Yeah.
He's going to have somebody running that defensive side. He's going to do wonders with Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter.
Yep.
I'm not even going to mention the quarterback's name, okay?
Yep. But I don't think they're making the playoffs.
No.
Yeah.
I think the Bears and Patriots are fighting.
They'll be improved. They'll be improved.
And the Raiders will be much improved.
Yes. Those teams,
Pete Carroll.
Again, all of these teams got better with their coaches.
And,
but it's just, man,
it's
the
a contradiction of sorts by saying which new coaches. They're new coaches because their organizations stunk it up.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
But these guys are good. And I also had on this list, Aaron Glenn's going to do wonders for the Jets.
Yeah.
I know everybody likes to laugh at the Jets. Aaron Glenn is a class act. And you come from that Dan Campbell coaching tree.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see, not this year, but next year, I think you're going to see Kellen Moore start to do good things in New Orleans as well. They also had CBS had Schottenheimer, Ryan.
Yep.
I'm not putting the Cowboys on that.
No.
Veteran signing, free agent signing, that will have the biggest effect on this team. Sam Darnold with Seattle, Justin Fields with New York, Devontae Adams with LA Rams, or Stephon Diggs with the Pats. I have no idea, but I don't hesitate with this one. You're going to laugh at me.
Oh, really?
Justin Fields and the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I was leaning that because
you were?
I was.
Okay.
I was.
Just not many people would be.
I like Fields a lot.
Me too.
I like Fields a lot. I think his ceiling is there. This was tough for me. I actually didn't know what to put because I didn't want to. I don't think Darnold.
Yeah, me either. I think he might have.
Devontae pisses me off sometimes.
Why is that?
He just
does.
Yeah, just his personality. Just him.
I understand.
Just him.
I understand.
And then you have Diggs also kind of.
If he was healthy,
again, yes,
not coming off the ACL, I think I would have put Diggs down here.
Me too.
I'm feeling good about Fields. Did you lean one way or no?
I put Fields just because I wasn't a huge fan of the other ones.
So by default, Justin Fields won.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I just think we look at Darnold, who went to 4 teams before he met Coach O'Connell in Viking land and had great support around him.
Yep.
I think what I keep liking about Fields is he's back home with Garrett Wilson, his buddy from Ohio State.
That's true.
From the college days, and they're not going to have to get on the same page. They've been playing. They know one another.
But also,
back
I hate the
college
Jets.
days.
That's
fair.
That's the biggest issue with that pick.
And the other thing is he's got skilled players around him.
He does.
You got Breece Hall. You got a 3-headed monster at the running back position, but I think Breece Hall should have a bounce back year too.
Yep.
I think. I say that, and every coaching staff comes in, and they have a different view.
Yep.
And they're high on Braylon Allen, and
but
I'm
if
like,
you don't use Breece Hall,
so I don't know. Last question along the same lines. First one was free agent signings. This is off of the trade market in the offseason. Who will have the biggest effect on their team? Geno Smith going to Raiderland. DK Metcalf with the Steelers. George Pickens, that right away CB went, with the Cowboys and Deebo Samuel with the Commanders.
I went Deebo.
Oh my God, so did I.
Yep.
I literally am like, I'm going to go Deebo, but no way CB's going Deebo.
As soon as you said Deebo, I wrote Deebo down.
If he stays healthy.
Yep. I put Geno second.
Yep.
But yeah, Deebo, I wrote Deebo as soon as you said him.
DK, well, he needs a quarterback, so we don't know who's quarterback and stealing.
Exactly.
I think Pickens is going to have one of his better years, and it's not because the kid has so much talent, he's just a head case.
He is.
But he's going to Jerry World now. He's opposite one of the best receivers in the game, and he's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah, he's
so now the young man that lets this get in the way is going to step up.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with Deebo is his health.
Yes.
He never stays
100%.
healthy. It's frustrating. But Geno Smith will give so much stability to Las Vegas Raider football.
Kathy says I'm thinking Metcalf.
You're thinking Metcalf? I like it.
Yeah.
Because I think any of us could throw to the guy because he's a freaking brick house.
Yep.
He's such a stud. But to me, it depends on who is throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
And as I say that, is there that much of a difference between Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers? Yes. It's called leadership. Sorry. I'm sorry.
But also, like with Deebo, when we watched the receiver documentary, right?
Yeah.
The receiver series, Deebo, I was like, Deebo, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You can play through that.
Yes.
Let's go.
That's what it is.
Let's go.
He was probably one of the best fantasy picks. And I'm going like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And when he plays, because he's a chess piece,
He's so fun to watch.
you can hand him the ball
Exactly.
end around, or he's a receiver, or he's in the slot.
Yeah.
You can do his thing.
He's so fun.
But then, all of a sudden, he's got a little injury.
Yep.
And he's out 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then he tries to play through it, and he limps off the field.
Yep.
And he's out for 3 more weeks.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, you look at fantasy football rankings, and he's just,
Yeah.
you talk about the stock market.
Right.
But again,
When
you're
he's-
in a new situation.
Yep.
You've got one of the best quarterbacks in all of football.
Yep.
Terry McLaurin is the most underrated receiver in the NFL. But we can break down all these skill set players.
Yep.
Can he stay healthy?
I know.
When he has a hangnail, is he going to play?
Yep.
Because literally, he doesn't play through anything.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, we both picked him.
Yep.
Well, now I'm picking Geno Smith.
But maybe is
Jesus.
that more because he's going to be on the Commanders?
Oh, man. And are the Commanders overhyped going into this season? That was CBS's question. I'm like, no.
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 I think they're definitely going to have more pressure on them because last year they were like literally no expectations.
Yep.
But this year they're going to have a lot of eyes on them. We'll see how they deal with it.
I don't think Jaden Daniels, and I should stop talking because of the podcast jinx. I don't think he'll have a sophomore slump.
I don't think so either.
He's just too good.
Just so good.
Shoulders and up, there's just too much there.
And his legs. His
And you traded one of the best left tackles in all football, Larry Tunsil, to the Commanders, which still can't figure out how the Texans could do that when poor C.J. Stroud couldn't stay on his feet last year. Talking about sophomore slumps. So they got better there. You bring in Deebo. You bring Zach Ertz back. Your offensive line is set. And Dan Quinn is such a good coach.
Yes.
That he will always coach up the defensive side of the ball, and they got better on that side. So the hype is real.
Yeah.
And it's not hype. They're for real. All right. What are you going to watch this weekend? The W or college softball? And when I say this weekend, I got to back up because softball starts tomorrow.
Yep.
First pitch CBS had first pitch at 11 and then noon for the same game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
both.
most of us are working, so we won't be able to see the first pitch.
And then both. I'll probably try and also hit up, depending on who's playing, some more NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know when the championship starts.
And I did not
Final
mention
start.
my new favorite sport, which is hockey.
I know. I was going to say, we didn't talk about hockey.
It
looks like it's going to be the same.
I picked Dallas to win the whole thing.
Yep.
Podcast jinx.
Yep. It looks like it's going to be the same lineup.
Same two as last year?
Last year. Edmonton and Florida.
Edmonton is looking so good. I'll probably podcast jinx them, but I already podcast jinxed Dallas.
Yep.
After I did that, they lost 3 straight. They did lose 3 straight. Jesus. The Florida Panthers are just sick.
Yep.
But Edmonton, it's the Edmonton freaking Oilers.
Can't count them out. Yep.
I don't know. I'll have to see if Safford will bet with me again because I took the Panthers last year and I'm going to take them this year. Hey, get out there and watch high school sports before the season wraps up. Obviously, playoffs are coming our way next week. NBA, NHL, and, just watch a little bit of the College World Series. We will see you next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good rest of the week.